So this is the email I got from Nicholas Godejohn. It says, "Hello, Nadatha. Thank you for the email of support. Please call me Nick or Mr. Smiley, as all my friends would call me. I do not like the sound of pen pal, for it sounds too informal. Maybe I am. But the reason why I started this friendship with Nick was because, first of all, prison can be a pretty lonely place. Second of all, autism affects my family personally, and I can't imagine somebody taking advantage and convincing someone that we love so much to do something that Nick did. Gypsy, let me help bring awareness to you, okay? You want to be people's queen. You're chasing fame. You want to be worshipped and idolized. No one is going to ride with that."
Nicholas Godejohn is speaking out. Could this be the beginning of Gypsy-Rose's downfall? Gypsy-Rose Blanchard, once hailed as a victim-turned-survivor, might find herself in hot water now that her former accomplice, Nicholas Godejohn, is breaking his silence. After years of remaining relatively quiet and out of the public eye, Nicholas seems ready to tell his side of the story. And trust me, this could completely change the narrative we've all been fed. You might remember how Nicholas previously hinted at his desire to speak up. Back in January, he told the New York Post that he was carefully weighing his options for sharing his truth. He mentioned wanting to find the right platform, build trust, and ensure his voice wasn't lost in the chaos of public opinion.
The reason I've agreed to do this interview was because when I noticed that my ex-co-defendant, Gypsy Blanchard, got a lot of attention, as she did, and she just kept on getting more and more attention. I felt that it's been tipped in one side of a scale to where I really wasn't getting much coverage. I wasn't being able to actually be able to voice my opinion. I wasn't able to let everyone know what I truly feel. I just know that she knows. She knows that I've taken the responsibility for mine already.
Well, it seems like that moment has arrived, and it's all thanks to Nadatha Walker, a former cellmate of Gypsy-Rose, who has been nothing short of outspoken about Gypsy's behavior both inside and outside prison. There is so much to unpack here: how Nadatha connected with Nicholas, what Nicholas's revelations could mean for Gypsy, and why the public's perception of Gypsy has shifted so drastically in recent years. Because we are going to dig into every detail and analyze what this new alliance could mean for everyone involved. The story begins with Nadatha Walker, who met Gypsy during her time in prison. After observing Gypsy's behavior up close, Nadatha came out with a mission to hold Gypsy accountable for her actions and to expose the reality behind the carefully curated image Gypsy presents to the public.
Gypsy, let me help bring awareness to you, okay? You want to be people's queen. You're chasing fame. You want to be worshipped and idolized. No one is going to ride with that. On top of the fact that a lot of facts and details about your case weren't really discovered or talked about until recently. So people's minds have changed. You've played the innocent victim role for so long, and the more details and truth that comes out, people understand that you're not an innocent victim. Telling us that you don't identify as a schmurderer, it's not bullying, it's pointing out the truth.
But Nadatha's efforts didn't stop there. She also reached out to Nicholas Godejohn in an effort to build a connection and help him find his voice. According to sources, Nadatha initially contacted Nicholas with the intention of forming a friendship and working together to support inmates who were preparing for life after prison. She believed Nicholas, despite his troubled past, could offer valuable insight into the struggles of incarcerated individuals, and surprisingly, Nicholas responded. In an email exchange with Nadatha, Nicholas wrote, "Hello Nadatha, thanks for the email and support. Please call me Nick or Mr. Smiley, as all my friends do. I do not like the sound of pen pal. It feels too informal. If you want to be friends, I can be fine with that, as it has a more personal ring to it. You mean the rally I never gave my consent for those clowns to have in my name? This is not the time for such a thing. You do have a unique name though. Do you know what culture it comes from? Until I hear back from you, stay positive, healthy, and safe." This email reveals a lot about where Nicholas is mentally and emotionally.
So you guys probably think I'm crazy. Maybe I am. But the reason why I started this friendship with Nick was because, first of all, prison can be a pretty lonely place. Second of all, autism affects my family personally, and I can't imagine somebody taking advantage and convincing someone that we love so much to do something that Nick did. And I also understand how it could be possible. And I'm sure if you love somebody with autism, full-blown autism, you understand what I'm saying. I saw in one of his interviews that he wanted to help people. I help people. I think that it would be good for him to feel like he has some way he's helping.
On one hand, he seems willing to engage with people again, a huge step considering how betrayed he must feel after his relationship with Gypsy. On the other hand, his hesitance is clear. Nicholas has every reason to be cautious, given that trusting Gypsy led to his current situation. Despite his reservations, Nicholas's decision to connect with Nadatha signals his commitment to staying true to his cause. He has previously expressed a desire to advocate for people who need help, and his willingness to collaborate with Nadatha shows he hasn't lost sight of that mission, even if the justice system has repeatedly let him down.
I saw in one of his interviews that he wanted to help people. I help people. I think that it would be good for him to feel like he has some way he's helping. So, because I run 2 sober living homes, I gave him my contact information. As you know, prison, they mix us all in there together, so I'm sure he knows many people in there that are going to be being released from DOC that need a home plan, that need reentry. So I asked him if he would do that for me, if he would find people in DOC that he felt like needed help, and I would be that connection for him. I also saw where he said that I understand that you call people clowns, but about the rally, he doesn't want it. Maybe in future emails I'll understand deeper why he doesn't want it, but he doesn't, at this point he doesn't, and says that now is not the time for that. And I really can't give you any deeper explanation of what that means just yet. But I wanted to give him an outlet to help people. I am that person that thinks the situation was not fair. It wasn't fair, and his autism wasn't even taken into consideration.
To truly understand where Nicholas is coming from, we need to look at his ongoing fight with the legal system. Nicholas has spent years trying to appeal his conviction, citing his autism spectrum disorder, ASD, and Gypsy's manipulation as factors that should have been more heavily considered during his trial. In December of last year, Nicholas filed an appeal with the Missouri Court of Appeal, arguing that his mental condition and lack of understanding of the consequences of his actions were not given sufficient weight. However, in April, his appeal was denied. The court ruled that despite his ASD, Nicholas had enough awareness to understand right from wrong and still chose to commit the crime. This wasn't the first time Nicholas faced rejection in his pursuit for justice. In 2022, his motion for a new trial was also denied.
Nicholas Godejohn is serving life without parole plus 25 years for armed criminal action for Dee Dee Blanchard's murder. An appeals hearing last year actually denied his request to overturn his conviction based on poor representation and a diminished mental capacity. Now he's hoping a panel of 3 judges will reconsider his conviction.
These repeated setbacks have clearly taken a toll on him, leading to a deep sense of distrust, not just in the legal system but in people in general. In a letter to the New York Post, Nicholas hinted at his frustrations. "I want people to know that I am not lost in the either of all what is going on with whom shall not be named. I am just being patient for my true time to speak." Notice how he carefully avoids mentioning Gypsy by name. That omission speaks volumes. It's as if Nicholas is trying to reclaim his identity, separate from the shadow of gypsy-rose. He seems determined to ensure that when he finally tells his story, it will be on his own terms and without any outside influence. Let's shift gears and talk about Gypsy-Rose. When she was first released from prison, Gypsy was widely viewed as a survivor. The public sympathized with her story of enduring years of abuse at the hands of her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard. For a while, Gypsy was even celebrated as a hero, a victim who managed to escape her horrific circumstances. But over time, cracks began to show in her carefully constructed image. Many expected Gypsy to use her platform to advocate for abuse survivors or push for prison reform. Instead, Gypsy has been accused of prioritizing fame and superficial pursuits. From promoting beauty products to collaborating on lifestyle content, Gypsy's post-prison activities have left many feeling feeling disillusioned. Even more damning are the revelations from Nadatha Walker, who has been outspoken about Gypsy's behavior during their time together in prison. According to Nadatha, the gypsy-rose the public sees online is nothing like the real gypsy-rose.
You did not have a bad childhood. Stop trying to spin that story. You didn't. You had actually a very fun and decent and loving and better than what most people do. And you still feel no remorse, nor have you taken any accountability. Because had you wouldn't refer to this situation as a pest. Matter of fact, every time somebody mentioned your mom, you would break down and cry. That's what would happen. But see, you didn't break down and cry in prison like that, did you? I wasn't there for the beginning half, but I do remember when you came in. I do. And it was the poor, pity me, sweet and innocent, I am not supposed to be here, just, you know what I'm saying, preying on everybody by pulling on their heartstrings. But when they found out who you really were and what you were like, that quickly ended, didn't it?
Nadatha has painted a very different picture of Gypsy, one that contrasts sharply with the narrative Gypsy has presented to the world. According to Nadatha, Gypsy has always been manipulative and self-absorbed. Even during her time in prison, Nadatha claims Gypsy was more interested in gaining attention and admiration than in showing genuine remorse for her actions. In one of her videos, Nadatha shared, Gypsy had the chance to come out and prove that she had learned from her mistakes. Instead, she's out here blaming everyone else and pretending like she's perfect. It's exhausting to watch. Nadatha has also criticized Gypsy for her lack of accountability. While Gypsy has admitted in interviews that she manipulated Nicholas into committing the crime, she has consistently deflected the blame to him, portraying herself as the victim.
Don't associate myself as a murderer. If you think about it, yes, I had a part to play in it. I asked Nick for help, but he's the one that did the actual kill, not me. So when they say I'm a murderer, I don't identify as that. Let me live my life. Let me reinvent myself. Give me a chance.
This refusal to take responsibility has only added to the growing backlash against her. Now, with Nadatha reaching out to Nicholas and forming a connection, the stage is set for some potentially explosive revelations. Nicholas has mentioned that he's been waiting for the right platform to share his story. Could Nadatha be the person to help him finally open up? This partnership raises a lot of questions. Will Nicholas use this opportunity to reveal the full extent of Gypsy's involvement in the crime? Could his story change the way the public views Gypsy? And most importantly, how will Gypsy respond if Nicholas starts speaking out? The story of gypsy-rose Blanchard and Nicholas Godejohn is far from over. With Nicholas ready to speak out and Nadatha amplifying his voice, we could be on the brink of a major shift in public opinion. Whether you believe Nicholas deserves a second chance or think Gypsy's critics are being too harsh, one thing is clear: the truth has yet to be fully revealed. What do you think about all this? Could Nicholas's revelations bring new light to this case, or will Gypsy continue to dominate the narrative? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe for more updates. This story is only getting started, and you won't want to miss what comes next. See you in the next video.